Hey guys, Shalana here. Welcome to the Binge Zone. On today's Ending Explained video, we're going to be breaking down the ending of season 1 of the Amazon Prime original show, The Boys. Because, woo, there's a lot to unpack in that season finale. But if you have not seen The Boys, I highly recommend that you stop this video now. Go watch it, because from this moment on, nothing but spoilers, because this ending was wow. So guys, spoilers ahead, moving on. So that ending scene was wild. We have Homelander, we have Billy Butcher, we have Becca Butcher finally, and then we have Homelander Jr. Whoa, there's a lot to unpack here. Homelander Jr., Becca's still alive, all of Billy's motivations throughout the season, all wrapped up, and we see that everything was a lie. Even things that Homelander believed in was a lie. So how did we get here? How did Homelander and Butcher end up in this situation where both of these characters had no idea just the ramifications of what everything meant? Well, for us to understand that, we have to go back in the story. Let's go back to the beginning. We see that in the very first episode, Billy Butcher has an agenda against Soups. He doesn't trust them. And at first, we're not privy to why or what his beef is. But as the season develops, we come to find out more and more that Homelander violated his wife. And then he believed the Homelander either murdered her or she killed herself, which Homelander is responsible either way because he's the one who violated and assaulted his wife. As the series progressed and we see that Homelander's character is evolving, we begin to believe that Homelander is capable of so many things. He's never shown the tendency to actually violate anybody. Sure, Homelander is a douche, Homelander is a dick, he's arrogant, and he will murder people. But just the nature of what Billy accused him of, we've never seen that. We've actually seen that Homelander comes off, even though psychotic, as a character who is lacking love, who lacks any sort of compassion in his life, because he's been nothing but a product since the day he was born. Homelander is looking for love in all the wrong places. So that presents us with two characters. Homelander, who is lacking in familial love as well as romantic love, and Billy, who believes what Homelander has done to his family and his wife. So both these characters are on a collision course with one another, and Billy will stop at nothing to get back at Homelander, while Homelander will go above and beyond to maintain his image, as well as trying to get love from anywhere, whether it's the American people, whether it's from Miss Stillwell, anyone who will give Homelander the time of day. He seems attracted and gravitates towards that character. So how does Becca Butcher fit into all of this? Well, we see towards the end of the season, as we get more backstory on Becca, Billy, and Homelander, we see that Becca worked for Vought and she was the social media manager for the Homelander. And at the Christmas party Billy and Becca attended to, we see that Homelander is very appreciative of Becca. At the same time, Billy's already hostile, feels weird about just the whole concept of what she does for Vought. Then we find out later on from Billy that after that Christmas party, Homelander has been smitten by his wife and he actually takes advantage of her. And that is because the CIA gave Billy that information, and the CIA planted in Billy's head that she was violated by the Homelander, maybe furthering the CIA's own cause. We see throughout the series that the CIA and the military don't want to work hand in hand with the superheroes of this universe. And that's understandable, because these guys are douches, because you don't want to give overwhelming power to a being who already has overwhelming power. So you can see why the military and the government is antagonistic towards the Soups. And that's why they sick Billy on Homelander. Not for anything he did particularly, because when we see Homelander bring up Becca Butcher to Miss Stillwell, she brushes it off as it's nothing, because he's like, he never killed her. So he could understand why Billy would think that he killed her, but he didn't. And then in the final scene, when they're all confronting each other and they're all inside Miss Stillwell's house, and Homelander brings her baby and they start having a talk, Homelander talks to Miss Stillwell and he lets her know that he knows the truth. We see that Homelander was raised in the lab and he was bred to be the prototypical hero. Even his backstory is fake. Everything about Homelander is fake. No familial love, no parental love, and no consensual love. But in the final scene, we see Homelander tell Billy that him and Becca had a consensual 3-hour sex fest, right? And that she came multiple times. That doesn't fit the narrative that the CIA gave Billy that he violated her if it was all consensual. And even when we see the videotape of her leaving Homelander's office, she doesn't seem violated per se. She seems like she just had the time of her life, right? She came out looking away. Granted, we don't know what happened in that room, but from what we're gathering from Homelander's story, she seems that it was consensual and that she went about her way. And then we come to see from Voderbond, the scientist who actually raised Homelander, that she was pregnant with Homelander's child, and the child during childbirth killed her and the child died. So that devastates Homelander a bit, because Homelander's always been looking for love and he could have potentially had a son. However, the story that Stillwell tells him and the story that Voderbond tells him it's different stories and it doesn't align. The indiscrepancies between the stories is what triggers Homelander to actually do his own investigation, and he finds out that they're both lying. So he goes and he kills Voldemort and he squeezes the information out of him. And then when he confronts Stillwell and Billy Butcher, he lets Butcher know that he doesn't care about Stillwell. She's been lying to him his entire life, and he kills her right then and there. And when Butcher tries to kill them both, Homelander saves them and takes them to the address of Becca Butcher. Now, how did he get this address? We see that he whispers something to Stillwell before he kills her, and that's assumed that Voldemort is actually the one who gives him the information about where Becca is located with their child. So he takes Billy Butcher there. In the final scene, when Butcher wakes up and he sees Homelander, and then he sees Homelander Jr., and in the shocking moment of it all, he sees Becca Butcher. She's been alive for the past 8 years, and she's raised a child who's now 8 years old. And at the end, we see the child's eyes glow, and he has blonde hair. So he is Homelander's son. So Homelander's story seems to check out. Him and Becca had a consensual thing, and she had a child, and she didn't tell anybody about it. And I can understand Vought Enterprises being the one who hid this from Homelander. They don't want Homelander to know about this child and raise this child, because Stillwell is afraid of Homelander. They all became afraid of what Homelander can do and his influence around the world, because Homelander is Superman in this universe, and you can't stop Superman because Homelander does not have kryptonite. So there's nothing to stop him from going AWOL and raising a son who could become his successor if he decides to take over the world. So it's perfectly understandable why they would do this, but why did Becca not tell Billy? That's the question. Is the money Vought paying her that great, or did she really have a love for Homelander because she carried his child and she had him, and you could see in the party that she was glad to be working with Homelander, and who wouldn't be? I mean, it's Superman, for God's sake. So maybe she was attracted to Homelander, and that's what caused her to be more receptive of Vought's offer to raise the child, because Vought could have easily just killed her and just raised the child like Homelander. But they see Voldemort said something very crucial. He said that Homelander was his biggest failure, and that's because he didn't raise Homelander with the love of a mother. So now we see Homelander Jr. getting raised with the love of a mother, albeit at the cost of Becca and Billy Butcher's family and their love. And that goes to show just what perception will do to someone, because Billy's perception, what the CIA gave Billy as his perception, is what drove his character, which is why he drives Butcher the way he does. And then we come to find out that it's all a lie. It's all predicated on something they don't quite understand. And even Homelander, who comes off as the psychopath, is all because of Vought Industries. Homelander maybe doesn't want to be this thing that he is, but because of the way he was raised and his environment, he ends up being that way. And that ending itself is what had my jaw floored, because I did not see that coming a mile away. I thought Billy was going to kill Homelander or Homelander kill Billy, and then that sets up a great season 2. However, these mysteries being uncovered, these layers of lies being uncovered, and Billy's whole world being flipped upside down yet again is what is going to propel such a great second season. Anyway, guys, that's my ending explained for the ending of The Boys season 1. And I have to ask you guys a question. What you think of this season? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you guys liked the video, definitely hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. And until next time, binge on.